Well, hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Crystalline. Now, the last time we played, we just went to the fire temple. We tried and failed to get me back home, so let's just get right back on into it, shall we? Slowly, I push myself up in the bed and glance over to see Zack strapping on his dischargers. He notices me sit up.
Hey.
Hey. Hey.
We're meeting downstairs in a few minutes.
Alright. As Zack finishes gathering his things, I begin to get ready to go downstairs. The group gathers down in the lobby. I greet everyone and turn to Amelia. How was your chat with Elder Issam yesterday?
We had a very productive discussion. In fact, Elder Issam shared more of his journals with me.
Aww. She indicates the scrolls in her arms. Wow, he just gave those to you?
No, these are copies I wrote to bring back with me to the academy.
Oh. We stare at Amelia. She spent all night writing those?
That's a lot of dedication.
Amelia continues.
Regardless, we discussed more on the theory of temporal rifts in the elementals, which has only strengthened my concern that we do not have enough energy.
Then that definitely means we need to seek out another temple.
Yes, it
Do we
does.
have a lead on where to go?
Elder Issam, through his research into the elements, did mention that historically, the Gaians, the people who originally worshipped the earth elemental, used to reside in the central woodlands of Assyria. The Kali, the people who worshipped the wind elemental, resided in the northern aerial plains. Therefore, it is most logical that the earth and wind temple will be located in those respective regions.
Well, what about the water or shadow temple? She shakes her head.
The Aquarians, those who worshipped the water elemental, depended heavily on the seas. As such, Elder Issam was unable to pinpoint where the cultural hub of their society might have been. As for Shadow, that is a complete unknown.
Oh my goodness.
If the Earth Temple is somewhere centrally located, then that would be the temple closest to us.
Liana nods.
The fastest way back will be to take the crystal rail, so we should return to Bazada.
Alright, let's go through those creepy woods again. With our next course of action in place, we finish up at the inn and get ready to depart. Elder Issam sees us off, much to the delight of Amelia. We retreat back through the forest. Liana stays by my side the whole way through, still unsettled by the forest. Luckily, nothing unfavorable happens and we quickly make it through. As we return to Bazada, I can hear the raucous sounds of the marketplace city long before I see it. We pass through the familiar city gates and return to the early bustle of the city.
Let's pause here and take a moment to restock. There are a few items I'd like to pick up, which may be helpful.
Good idea. Why don't we all make sure we have everything we need, and then meet at the crystal rail station?
We all agree and split up. I spend some time browsing through the stalls again. Afterwards, I head over to the station to meet back up with the group. I'm the first to arrive at the station, but Kara shows up only a few minutes later. As the rest of the team gradually trickles in, Kara peers at the station list.
The end of the line is Stonecrest, so that's where we should go. Once we arrive there, I'll scout around and find our next course of action.
We want to reach as close to Central as possible, so traveling to the end of the crystal rail is a good first step.
Okay. Once we had a semblance of a plan put together, we purchased our tickets. After the train pulls into the station, we all board and begin our journey. Hello? We have been dealing with a lot of slowdown in this game. After traveling on the train for 2 days, we finally arrive in the city. I squint at the midday sun and join the others as we quickly disembark the train, grateful for a chance to stretch our legs.
Here we are, Stonecrest.
Kara pulls her arms overhead in a stretch, forcing her chest out. Zack's eyes are... Jesus. Zack's eyes are immediately drawn to her. She smirks at Zack, who quickly averts his gaze and stares hard at a random cobble on the street. The town doesn't differ much from the other towns we've seen so far. It is made up of the same stone buildings and cobblestone paths. People wander in and out of the shops, going about their daily lives. The first thing we do is find and enter the inn. Alright, so now that we're here, how do we figure out where to go next? Kara grins.
Just leave it to me. I'll ask around and see if I can come up with anything.
I'll keep my eyes and ears open just in case I hear something too.
Kara shakes her head.
You should relax and enjoy the city. I've got some contacts I'm going to reach out to, so I've got this.
Oh, well, if you're sure.
Kara nods.
I already have a few ideas and leads based on some of my previous scoutings for temples and hidden relics.
Okay, then let's meet back here in a few hours to regroup.
Works for me.
Alright. Amelia nods distractedly.
Now that we have something of a plan, I'll be heading off.
Me too.
Kara and Leanna leave while everyone else stirs. I don't have anything pressing to do. I wonder if I can help or hang out with someone. Well, let's go right to Leanna, okay? Kara seems to already have an idea of where she wants to go. Maybe I can hang out with Leanna. I check the surrounding streets and come upon a statue. Leanna stands right before it. Hey. She smiles as I approach.
Hey!
I look back at the statue of a woman. She stands in a regal pose, overlooking the town square. She's decked out in armor with a sword hanging by her side. Who's that?
That is Elena Vale. She was a mage knight who fought to protect her city against the advancement of Void.
Leanna's eyes sparkle with admiration as she looks at the statue. She tucks a lock of hair behind her ear. That's pretty cool. I'm guessing she's from here? Leanna nods.
She was still studying at the academy to become a mage knight, but happens to be home when Void attacked. They didn't have the same type of training regimen in place back then as we do now. Normal townsfolk weren't trained or prepared to fight in a battle, and it was absolute chaos. Scouts by the gate spotted the advancement of a Void troop coming to the town, which caused panic. Elena quickly took charge and tried to calm the people down. Thinking on her feet, she asked for volunteers to help evacuate families from the city, and others to help set up barricades and defenses in town to slow down the Void advancement. Those who stayed to fight knew what the consequences would be, but Elena's unfaltering bravery rallied them. Together they found whatever they could to block off the streets and alleyways. That way, they could at least try to control where the fights happened. And then, Void entered the town.
My god. That must have been a bloodbath. Leanna grimaces.
It wasn't pretty. These weren't trained soldiers, but still, they persevered for their town. Elena and a team of guards sought out the leader of Void, who was hidden in the back lines. They used hidden passageways in the town to quickly reach him.
Why does the town have hidden passageways? That's weird, right? That's not just me.
Using her magic and training, she was a formidable match during the skirmish. And at one point, she even had the upper hand. When the leader realized that he may be cut down, he cowardly tried to retreat. He cast a line of shadow fire between himself and Elena, which stretched across the road. It burned both any Void followers and townsmen alike who were caught in the crossfire.
She begins to speak in awe.
But that did not stop Elena. She leaped through the dark flames and ran her sword straight through him.
What a badass. My mouth drops. That is so badass. Leanna grins broadly, her eyes sparkling.
It was, and a huge morale boost for anyone who witnessed it too.
I can imagine. She literally jumped through fire. I'm assuming that was the fatal blow that killed the leader. Leanna nods.
Unfortunately, shadow fire is far more deadly than regular fire, and it proved to be fatal.
She sacrificed her life to save the people of her town. That's admirable. What happened then?
With the Void leader defeated, the rest of the followers broke down and either fled or surrendered. Thanks to Elena, this town wasn't taken over.
You seem to know a lot about her. Leanna brightens up again.
Of course, she's such an inspiration. There aren't many mage knights who are women. While Elena may not have been one of the heroes of Isaria, who defeated and ended the conflict with Void, she still made just as big an impact to the people of this town. To me, Elena embodies what it means to be a mage knight. Being a student didn't stop her. She still did everything possible to protect those who needed it.
Is that why you became a mage knight?
It's one of the reasons. Elena showed me that no deed is too small to make an impact on someone. As a mage knight, I get sent on missions all over Heavengard. I feel like I can make more of a difference than if I were just a research mage.
She grins.
Plus, getting to travel around and meet new people isn't so bad.
How does your family feel about you traveling so much?
While they don't think it's ideal, it's something they're already used to.
Oh? Leanna nods.
My older brother is also a mage knight.
Oh, so you kind of followed in his footsteps.
I guess you could say that.
Do you two get along? She thinks, then nods slowly. That means she doesn't. By the way, that means she does not.
Yeah, we do actually.
Yeah, do you? He must have been really happy to hear you've become a mage knight too. Leanna shifts her gaze away and smooths her skirt. When she looks back up, she seems too cheerful. Of course.
Well, that's a long enough break. I should go and help Kara with the search. I know she said we didn't have to, but investigating is part of what I do. I'll meet you back at the inn.
That was a fast change in her demeanor. It must have been something I said. If only. I can't possibly imagine what it could have been, right? Alright, I'll keep looking around too. She flashes me one last smile before quickly disappearing down the street. Yeah, smooth, bud. Smooth. I guess I'd better get a move on as well. With that done, I think about my next steps. Let's look for Amelia. I wonder what she's doing. I make a big loop around the town, but don't find her anywhere. Racking my brain, I try to think of things that Amelia would be interested in. Maybe a library or museum or something bookish. I make another lap around town, but don't find those places. Well, I'm making no progress just wandering around. I better return to the inn. I make my way back, and I'm surprised to see a familiar set of pigtails sitting quietly at one of the tables. Amelia looks up at me as I approach her.
Greetings.
Hey. She makes no indication to speak again. What are you doing here?
I am awaiting the rest of our group at our designated meeting point.
Right, but we still have a lot of time before the others are going to show up. She blinks.
Yes, I'm well aware of that information.
Don't you want to explore the town?
No.
I continue to stare at her, so she explains.
I do not possess the contacts of Kara to pursue a lead on our next destination. Nor are there any familiar channels of leisure for me in the city. The only option available is to reconvene with the rest of the group. Hence, I'm awaiting everyone's return.
Familiar channels of leisure? Is that her way of saying there's nothing fun here? There's gotta be something fun to do around here. She shakes her head.
From my understanding, there is no library or museum.
Well, fun is a broad term, right? Are those the only places you've looked for? She nods. Fun could mean more than just that. Have you tried looking for some place with games or something? She cocks her head to the side and looks at me curiously. You know, I've found that women do that a lot when I talk to them. I can't understand it. You know, like... I pause as I try to think of what type of games would be in this world. Maybe stuff you'd find at a fair? Ring toss or knife throwing or whack-a-mole? Amelia pauses.
Perhaps you are describing a carnival.
Yeah, that's it.
I did not seek out that information, but I believe I may know the location of what you are seeking.
See? Really? That's great. We should go. She pauses as she thinks, then gets to her feet.
I suppose frequenting an establishment such as that could be considered a form of learning.
That's right. Let's go. Amelia exits the inn and heads confidently out into the streets. I keep up as she turns onto side streets, and before long she pauses in front of an open alley. It reminds me of the fairs and carnivals we have back home. People set up their stalls along the sides, but instead of selling wares, they advertise activities. There are stalls offering targets to test your skills, like weapons throwing, or stalls will guess your weight or age. Amelia glances at me.
Is this what you were suggesting?
This is even better than I imagined. Which one do you want to check out?
I am content to merely observe.
That's no fun. You should try one. She doesn't seem to be interested in choosing. I guess that means I'll just have to choose for her. Maybe we should go for something more engaging like target throwing. Looking around at those stalls, I don't recognize what half of these options are. There's something with floating circles and something else with bottles. I pause when I see the stall with dischargers. Finally, something I recognize. This shouldn't be too different from the shooting ranges back home. Let's try shooting the dischargers. Amelia gives me a strange look.
An interesting choice.
Her tone suggests this is not something she'd try on her own, but she follows me to the stand anyway. The man behind the counter grins at us.
Think you have what it takes to win? Hit 3 out of 5 shots to win a prize.
You ready?
Perhaps if you attempt it first, I can observe you and then attempt it myself.
Are you trying to tell me a discharger is too difficult for you? Amelia shakes her head dismissively.
Nonsense. Dischargers are merely a simple tool. I, on the other hand, have extensive magic training. This is nothing more than an exercise in coordination. I will attempt it.
That'll be 2 coins, miss.
She places the coins on the counter and he swaps it out with a discharger.
There are 5 rounds loaded in there. Have at it.
Amelia clutches the discharger and holds it in front of her. She squints one eye as she lines up her aim. Then she squeezes the trigger. A bolt of energy shoots out of the barrel and Amelia lets out a small gasp at the kickback. The shot is wide and she misses the target. Amelia's eyes are also wide as she studies the discharger with interest.
How curious.
Have you ever shot one of these before? She shakes her head.
The opposing force was unanticipated.
Yeah, since they're lasers, so there shouldn't actually be any opposing force, but you know, it's fine.
This time I will be prepared.
You know, why? She lines up her aim and fires again. Anticipating the kickback, she fights to keep her aim straight, but can't stop the slight jerk of the weapon. Again, her shot misses. She frowns and seems surprised at herself, as if she can't believe that she's continuing to miss. She fires again, but aims too high and misses. Then fires once more and shoots wide. For her final shot, she aims too low and misses again. Her face falls when she realizes she's all out of shots. That's not bad for a first try. You were close to the target each time.
Not good enough.
Good try, miss. But unfortunately...
Amelia interrupts him by placing more coins on the counter.
I would like another attempt.
I'm surprised by the determination in her voice.
As you wish.
He takes the coins and resets the discharger with more rounds. Amelia fires again and again, but never quite hits the target. She throws down the discharger and raises her bracelet, an unusual fire in her eyes. They begin to glow. Hey, what are you doing?
I will hit the target.
You've got to use the discharger.
This discharger is clearly defective and not utilizing the energy properly. I will use my magic to prove it to you.
Oh no. I have no doubt in your skills casting magic, but shooting a discharger is a new skill. You shouldn't give up. Amelia doesn't react. Are you really going to let a measly little discharger get the best of you? The more you shoot it, the better your aim will be, and you'll be hitting those targets in no time. As she considers my words, her jaw unclenches and she lowers her arm. She picks up the discharger again with new resoluteness. As she lines up the shot, she takes her time before shooting. This time, her shot is much closer to the target. Amelia nods, as if confirming something to herself. She shoots again, and her shot is even closer to the target. On her last shot, her face hardens as determination sets in. This time, she painstakingly lines up her shot and steadies her grip. As she pulls the trigger, she uses her body to help her keep steady from the kickback, and her shot hits the target. Her eyes light up as she throws her arms in the air and hops up and down with excitement. Aww.
I hit it!
Aw, look at her. Aw.
Did you see?
She turns to me with a big smile on her face as she jumps excitedly. Her pigtails bounce along with her and she claps her hands. Let's celebrate with her. I jump up and down with her. You were awesome! She looks up at me with a huge grin. Suddenly, her face turns red and she freezes. I see the moment of embarrassment on her face before she resumes her usual blank stare.
I meant it was only a matter of time before I got the correct calculations. Anyway, I shall return in a moment.
Oh no. She rushes off in a hurry towards the ladies' room, probably to recompose herself. I guess I'll wait here then. She still didn't win that prize though. Maybe I can win it for her. Oh no. Oh, if our first try we do better than her, this is going to end so badly. I address the shopkeeper. Hey, I'll give it a go. I've done my fair share of paintballing back home. It should be somewhat similar. I place my coins on the table and the man hands me a discharger. The first round misses as I familiarize myself with the weapon. My second attempt hits the target, as does my third. Unfortunately, my next attempt misses as I misjudge my aim. This is it. I steady my aim and fire. Let's just hit, right? My aim is true and I hit the target. Yes! I put down my discharger and pump my fist in the air. The man grins.
Nicely done. Well, here's your prize. Congratulations.
Why, thank you, shopkeeper. He hands me a pink Pongo plushie. Thanks. Amelia returns and her eyes grow wide when she sees my plushie.
How did you acquire this?
It's the prize from the game. She looks at me with surprise and seems impressed.
You attempted the game, and you were successful?
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal. I don't know if you've heard, you know, I've got a YouTube channel and everything, you know.
I see.
She eyes the discharger booth again. I hold out the plushie. This is for you. She blinks.
But you earned this.
I already have a Pongo. I don't need another one. I place the plushie in her hands. Let's check out another stall.
Okay.
I turn around and begin walking, but not before I catch the small smile on Amelia's face as she hugs the plushie close to her. Aww. As we wander the stands, I think about Amelia and her Magecaster program. So I've been wondering, as a student at the Mage Academy, won't coming on this adventure with us affect your classes?
That is not an issue for me, as I do not have classes.
You don't? She shakes her head. Oh, then what have you been working on?
My research studies. A significant component to becoming a Magecaster is research study. That is my focus and basis for participating on our travels.
So you just have to document research of a subject area of your choice and you're done?
To put it so plainly does a disservice to the amount of effort involved in formally achieving the status of Magecaster. But ultimately, you are correct.
Sounds a bit like she's working on the equivalent of her dissertation. So if that's it, why haven't you done it already?
It is not so simple. I had taken into consideration furthering the research on temporal rifts and the other parallel worlds. But such an endeavor would have been fruitless without an avenue for further research.
That explains her fascination with Elder Issim and Ember Mist. And then I came along. She smiles.
Precisely.
Aren't you worried the Mage Academy will come looking for you?
After departing the academy, I did ensure that a notification would reach my professors to inform them that I am currently traveling on a research study. These studies are quite numerous and common amidst my peers.
I see. Amelia pauses in front of a stall.
Shall we attempt this activity?
Sure. We spend some more time trying out the other stalls before we decide to leave. Amelia returns to the inn, but I decide to stay out a little longer. With that done, I think about my next steps. Okay. Let's find Kara. Maybe I can help Kara with her search. Yeah, maybe. I searched the streets of the city, but seem to always miss her. I wonder where she is and what kind of people she's talking to. Oh well, I'll see her when we meet back up. I guess I'll try something else. With that done, I think about my next steps. Okay. Let's see if Zack is at the inn. Based on previous patterns, it shouldn't be difficult to figure out where Zack went. I mean, we were already there and we only found Amelia, but you know. I make my way to the inn. To my surprise, Zack isn't standing in front of the bounty board. Instead, he sits alone at a table nursing a tankard. Looks like Zack's starting early. We've all been there, Zack, am I right? I'm sure if I join him, that'll be my entire day. I'll come back later. It may be 5 o'clock somewhere, but not here. I'll see what the others are up to and then join Zack later. With that done, I think about my next step. Oh. Okay, let's just... We don't have anyone else, so let's just go to him. Alright. Yeah, let's do it. I don't have anything else going on, let's get this party started. Zack looks up at me, then returns to his drink. Let's just have 1 or 2 drinks, let's not go crazy. I pay for a drink and then join Zack at his table. Zack takes a swig as I sit down and nods at me in greeting. I nod back and take a drink too. I don't feel much like talking, and to no one's surprise, neither does Zack. Instead, we sit in comfortable silence, enjoying our drinks and each other's company. Aww. Am I gonna get it on with Zack now? Let's do this. A heated discussion at another table escalates and the innkeeper escorts the men out. I shake my head as I watch them leave. I catch Zack also shaking his head. We make eye contact and he grins. I guess he disapproves too. Great minds think alike. Once I feel a good buzz, I finish off my drink and decide to head off. I don't want to get too drunk. I get to my feet and nod a goodbye to Zack, who reciprocates my nod. Then I leave the inn. Even without the use of words, I feel closer to Zack. Aww. With that done, I think about my next steps. I've done everything I could for now. I head back to the inn that I should never have gone outside of, and wait for the others to return. The sun has completely set as I step back into the streets. I probably should not have ended with Zack. I probably should have done... I look up at the night sky. The stars are especially clear tonight as they twinkle amidst the darkness. Amelia and Zack stand outside the inn, staring at something. I can't see their faces too clearly, but Amelia seems pensive. Zack continually glances around. As I approach, I don't notice the uneven cobblestone and miss a step. Luckily, I catch myself before I fall. That was close. I'm thankful the darkness hid my stumble. I don't remember any of the other cities being this dark at night. I follow Amelia's line of sight and notice a darkened lamppost. Maybe the light bulb's gone out. Looking further down the street, I see that the street lamp after this one is lit, but the one after that is dark again.
This is highly unusual.
It seems like every other lamp is out. That can't be a coincidence. Amelia frowns.
That is the conclusion we came to as well.
I peek inside the nearest lamp.
Do you see a crystal?
I squint as I peer into the darkness. I can't make out any shapes, but I can't tell if it's because it's too dark or there's nothing inside. I think this one might be empty. Zack looks suspicious while Amelia frowns in concern.
Surely the town would not be so negligent in their maintenance and upkeep.
It's a possibility.
Maybe someone's been stealing crystals. Looks like someone's been stealing crystals. Zack looks skeptical, but while Amelia looks thoughtful.
The likelihood of crystals being stolen from lamps is very low. It is more likely that either the town is purely negligent, or it is short on resources for replacements. Whatever the theory, we should bring this to someone's attention.
That makes sense. Amelia searches our surroundings and spots a guard patrolling on a nearby lane. We quickly approach him. Excuse me.
What is it?
We noticed that half of your lamps are dark. Before I can finish my sentence, the guard sighs wearily.
We just can't replace them fast enough. Every day they keep taking more and more. That's actually what I've been doing now. I'm counting how many need to be replaced tonight.
Oh, someone is taking them. Wait, are you saying someone's been stealing the crystals? Oh, hey! Look at who was correct, you doubting Thomases. Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Sounds crazy, right?
No, that sounds exactly as a smart person would imagine to be the case. Not at all. It's the most logical conclusion. Yes. Amelia looks impressed that I guessed correctly.
What's the point of that?
Your guess is as good as mine. They're really not worth much.
Have there been any other relevant thefts?
Sure, it's not just lamp crystals that they're stealing. They're stealing pretty much any kind of crystal that they can get their hands on. It's been going on for a few weeks now, and I'm at my wit's end. We've got a reward out for anyone who knows anything, but we've still gotten no leads. Anyways, if you guys see something, let me know. I've got to get started on replacing these crystals before even more get taken.
Amelia, Zach, and I stand in silence as the guard leaves. I'm not even from here, and I can tell something really weird is going on. Based on Amelia and Zach's expressions, it must be pretty bad.
We should get back.
Yes. We should inform Kara and Leanna.
We follow Zach to the inn where Leanna and Kara are waiting and exchange greetings. Any news?
I heard there was someone who could help, but I haven't been able to track him down. I'm sure I'll have an answer tomorrow.
She glances outside the window.
Has anyone else noticed how dark it is around here?
Someone has been stealing the lamp crystals. That is what the guard informed us.
Kara raises an eyebrow.
Must be some pretty desperate thieves out there.
Why do you say that?
Well, lamp crystals give essentially no return. They don't sell for anything because they're all specifically marked to be easily identified as this type of crystal.
Something fishy is going on. Obviously, something very weird is going on.
Maybe someone's more interested in the energy of the crystals instead of their value.
Do lamp crystals have a lot of energy?
Not particularly. We should look into this. I can't think of any reason why someone would want lamp crystals. And I'd like to know what they're doing with them.
Leanna bites her lip as she thinks, then nods, coming to a decision.
You're right. We should investigate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leanna stops and stares at Zach.
Really? I'm a bit surprised, but glad to see this side of you. It sounds like the guards could use our help figuring out this mystery.
Yep.
Yep. Again, Leanna stares at Zach, a little more uncertain than before. Kara grins slyly.
They're offering a reward for any information, aren't they?
Yep.
Yep. Leanna sighs.
I should have guessed.
Regardless, our first plan of action should be to search for any irregularities in energy.
Amelia and I can do a scan of the city to see if anything shows up on the scanner.
We follow as the two of them step outside of the inn and begin to fiddle with their manipulators. They pace the lengths of the streets but don't seem to trail too far away. Aren't you guys going to walk the perimeter of the city or something?
There is no need for such inefficiencies when we could just perform a radial scan.
Oh, well, excuse the hell out of me, jeez. Leanna frowns.
I'm not picking up any energy spikes or unusual readings.
Amelia continues to pace, then pauses. She fiddles with her manipulator again, then turns down a side street. Hey, wait! She pauses again, then looks up.
Very curious. There is energy residue scattered throughout the city, except for one area in the southern corner of town.
Oh, my scan radius doesn't reach that far. So the southern corner has 0 energy readings?
Precisely.
The remaining lamp crystals in the area should at least be giving off a pulse of energy. If even the pulse is missing, then that would indicate the place is completely dark.
We must go in this direction.
Let's do this. Amelia leads the way, following her manipulator. As we continue to walk, the cobblestones underfoot change slightly. They're looser and more uneven than in the heart of the city. The buildings are weathered and spotted with patchwork brickwork. The alleys feel dimmer here than in the center of town, as an even greater majority of street lamps are dark. The buildings and houses become more spread out as we reach the outskirts of the city. The further we travel, the more run down the houses become. Crumbled walls from buildings and debris litters the streets. I watch my footing carefully as the dim lighting makes it easy to trip and fall. Are we still in the city?
Technically, yes. We're in the remains of the last battle that occurred in Stonecrest.
You mean the one between Elena and Void?
That's right. This is part of the original city, which hasn't been restored yet.
Amelia pauses in front of a dilapidated dilapidated house.
This is the area of the irregularity.
The place is quiet. Too quiet. Does anyone even live here?
Probably not, so it could make a good hideout.
Let's just
Let's go
knock.
in.
Let's do this. Kara gingerly opens the door, which is falling off its hinges, and slips inside. I tentatively follow her, and the rest of the team trickles in. It looks like this was once a living room with a fireplace and a broken table in the corner. A hallway connects to it and leads into separate rooms.
We should split up and search the rooms.
Yeah. I agree with Zach. Agreed. We'll be sure to find it faster if we do.
It could be dangerous. Someone is using cloaking magic to mask the heightened energies of the crystals. That doesn't just sound like a regular thief to me.
We'll go in groups.
No need. I think I found it.
Oh. That was easy enough. Kara grins as she stands on top of a throw rug in the back hallway. She stomps twice over the rug and I hear a muffled, hollow thump. Then, she steps off the rug and stomps again, which reveals a much thicker sound.
I believe we found ourselves a way down.
How did you find that so quickly?
This house is literally falling apart, and there are no other decorations besides this rug. That's pretty suspicious, isn't it?
She kicks at the rug, which slides away to reveal discolored wooden panels. A latch nestles into the wood. Zach pulls on the latch and the door swings upward. We peek inside and a handful of young faces stare back at us. Their hair is matted and dirt streaks their cheeks. Once the surprise wears off, they pull back from the entrance and retreat further into the basement. Foregoing the ladder, Zach jumps into the basement. Leanna follows him down, and unlike Zach, lands lightly and gracefully on her feet. That must be her magic at use. Amelia takes the ladder down, as does Kara, who jumps off when she's closer to the ground. I'm gonna jump like a badass, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I've always wanted to do this, just like in the movies. I leap into the basement and land heavily on my feet. The shock travels up my legs, making me wince, but I manage to stand up straight. Leanna meets my eyes with a questioning look. I'm not entirely sure what that means. The rest of the team already has the children cornered beside a glowing pile of crystals. I count 5 of them as they huddle together. Zach stands with his arms crossed, blocking the kids from trying to run. Kara stands beside him, her usual grin replaced with a grim expression. Amelia inspects the crystals while Leanna kneels by the kids.
I can confirm that these are the crystals we are looking for.
Where did you get these crystals?
The children look uncomfortably amongst each other.
You don't have to be afraid. I'm a mage knight, see? I'm here to help.
She gives a soft smile as she shows them her insignia. Some of the younger kids hang their head, but an older boy straightens up and puts on a defiant scowl.
We didn't do anything wrong. We did exactly what the man said.
Ooh.
What man?
He clenches his jaw and refuses to speak.
Please, let me help you.
As the kids refuse to talk, Leanna looks helplessly back at us. Kara gently pulls Leanna to her feet and leads her away.
These kids are obviously alone and afraid. They're not going to talk to the guards.
No. We've definitely got an Oliver Twist situation going here.
I'm not a guard.
To them, you may as well be.
Yeah, you narc. Kara leans down and addresses the older kid.
You've got a nice pile of crystals there. Are you looking to sell them?
The boy crosses his arms. Kara reaches into her purse and pulls out a coin.
I'd like to buy one off of you.
The younger children stare hungrily at the coin and cast questioning glances at the boy. He eyes the coin longingly, but looks uncertain.
We can't sell it to you.
Why's that?
He quiets down again, but a younger boy pipes up.
He'll get angry if we don't have enough.
The man will. Does he take care of you?
The first boy protectively pushes the younger boy back.
He gives us money if we can get him crystals.
These kinds of crystals.
Kara points to the pile.
Annie, the bigger ones get us more coins, but they're all out of them now.
And that's why you've been taking lamp crystals.
He looks away and doesn't answer. Kara smiles warmly.
It's okay. I won't tell anyone if you don't.
The boy looks back at her.
So what does the man want with the crystals?
I don't know. He just wants them. A lot of them.
We should return the lamp crystals to the guard.
A little girl begins to cry.
No! Please don't take them away! The man's coming back soon, and he'll get angry if we don't have them.
Kara leans down and pats the little girl reassuringly.
Don't cry. We won't take the crystals.
You won't?
She chokes out her words between sniffles.
Nope. We don't want the man to be angry. He could be pretty scary if he's angry, right?
The little girl calms down a bit and nods vigorously. She slips her hand into the older boy's hand and he squeezes reassuringly.
Tell me, when is the man coming?
He comes at the end of the week, so tomorrow evening.
And he meets you here?
He nods. Leanna looks back at the rest of us.
We should go.
Kara nods. We're grim as we exit the house and head back towards the inn. Those kids. It's obvious they're orphans. What happened to their parents? Glancing at Kara, she looks equally pensive and disturbed by the children's unfortunate situation.
We'll have to camp out by their hideout tomorrow evening and see when the man shows up. Then follow him and see where he's going and what he's doing with the crystals.
Leanna furrows her brow.
I really can't imagine what he could want with all these crystals.
Amelia places a finger to her lips in thought.
It is a very perplexing situation.
Well, I suppose there's no dwelling on it now.
What do you think will happen to those kids? Zach shrugs.
Probably get sent to an orphanage.
Jeez. I'm a bit surprised they aren't already in one.
They're just trying to survive.
Kara is unusually silent this whole time. Are you okay, Kara? Are we about to get a backstory about you being an orphan? She immediately perks up and flashes me a smile.
Of course. Just thinking about our next plan of action. I'll be heading out early to see if I can get any more information on where to go next. So I better get some rest.
Rest sounds like a good idea for all of us.
As we reach the inn, we all say our goodnights and head to our respective rooms. Thoughts of the children's situation disturb me, and it takes me a while before I inevitably drift to sleep. Alright, guys. It's been, well, you know what? Here, let's just at least get back into an image. Sunlight falls across my eyes, pulling me awake. I stir and stretch widely. That was the best sleep I've had since arriving to Terra. What time is it? I squint at the sun shining through the window. It seems like it's pretty late. I sit up and the pongo bounces on the foot of the bed enthusiastically.
Boy!
Uh-huh. Oh, when did you get in here?
Boy!
He bounces again and rolls over to cuddle against me. Zach has already left the room. I wonder if anyone else is around. Throwing off my blankets, I get ready for the day and head downstairs. Okay. It's been... oh, geez. Somewhere... it's been close to an hour already. It's been close to 50 minutes, I think. So I'm gonna just call this one a video here. We are going to figure out what's going on with the children, with this clear Oliver Twist situation, in the next video, okay? I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you guys all next time. Peace out, everyone.